Trauma is a word we hear often. Sometimes we think of big, loud events, car accidents, natural disasters, war. These are indeed traumatic, but trauma wears many faces. It can be quiet, it can be subtle, it can be woven into the fabric of our daily lives. It's the pain that shapes us, often without us even realizing its full impact. Understanding trauma is the first step toward healing. It's about recognizing the hurt, no matter its form. Consider Michael. He grew up in a home where his emotional needs were consistently ignored. No one asked how he felt. His achievements were met with silence. His struggles were dismissed. This is emotional neglect. It left Michael feeling invisible, unworthy. Then there is Fatima. She carried the weight of immense cultural pressure. Her family expected her to follow a specific path. Her dreams were seen as rebellious. She felt trapped between her own desires and the expectations of her community. This is cultural trauma, and we have Kwame. He endured years of verbal abuse. Words like useless and stupid became his inner soundtrack. These words chipped away at his self-esteem. They shaped his belief about who he was. Verbal abuse is a profound trauma. It leaves deep, often unseen scars. These stories show us something vital. Trauma is not just about physical harm. It is profoundly emotional. It is deeply cultural. It affects our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. Recognizing these different forms of trauma is crucial. It helps us see that our pain is valid. It allows us to name what happened. It opens the door to understanding its impact on our lives. So many of us walk around with these hidden wounds. We might not even call it trauma. We might just think, that's just how life is. But acknowledging the breadth of trauma is an act of courage. It's the beginning of a journey toward wholeness. The invisible instigators, unmasking hidden trauma triggers. Trauma doesn't always stay in the past. It can show up in our present lives through hidden triggers. These triggers are often subtle. They are the everyday things that poke at our old wounds, sometimes without us even realizing it. One common trigger is minimization. This happens when our pain is downplayed by ourselves or others. Oh, it wasn't that bad. You're just being too sensitive. Look on the bright side. These phrases, however well-intentioned, can make us feel invalidated. They tell us our pain isn't real or significant. Another powerful hidden trigger is toxic productivity. In our culture, we often equate our worth with our achievements. We feel pressured to be constantly busy, constantly producing. For someone with a history of trauma, especially neglect or criticism, this can be particularly damaging. The need to prove one's worth can become relentless. Rest feels lazy. Downtime feels like failure. This constant striving can lead to burnout. It keeps us from the quiet spaces where healing can actually happen. It disconnects us from our true needs. Unintentional comparisons are also a pervasive trigger in our modern world. Social media constantly bombards us with curated images of other people's seemingly perfect lives. Family members might compare siblings. Friends might unintentionally highlight their own successes in ways that make us feel inadequate. These comparisons can reactivate old feelings of not being good enough. They can feed into the narratives that trauma may have already established within us. It's a quiet but constant assault on our self-esteem. These hidden triggers act like invisible tripwires. They keep the emotional charge of past trauma alive. They can send us spiraling back into feelings of anxiety, shame, or sadness. Learning to identify these triggers is a crucial step in healing. It's about becoming aware of what situations, words, or environments reactivate our pain. This awareness gives us power. It allows us to protect ourselves. It helps us respond with intention rather than react from a place of old hurt. How culture and society amplify trauma, making it louder than words. Our individual experiences of trauma don't happen in a vacuum. They are often shaped and amplified by the cultural and societal contexts we live in. These larger forces can act like megaphones, making the whispers of our trauma louder and more persistent. For example, religious misinterpretations can be a powerful amplifier. Teachings about suffering in silence, or an unquestioning acceptance of hardship as God's will, can prevent people from seeking help. It can make them feel ashamed of their pain or their desire for things to be different. Ethnic and tribal beliefs can also play a significant role. Many cultures place a strong emphasis on community honor and avoiding shame. This can make it incredibly difficult to speak out about abuse or trauma that occurs within the family or community. Strict gender roles can limit individuals' choices and expressions, leading to internal conflict and a sense of being trapped. The collective good might be prioritized to such an extent that individual suffering is silenced or ignored, further isolating the person who is hurting. Societal standards, often perpetuated by media and advertising, contribute too. Unrealistic ideals of beauty, success, and happiness create constant pressure. If our lives don't match these idealized images, we can feel like failures. This can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy that may already stem from trauma. Peer pressure, especially during formative years, can push individuals into situations that are harmful or that compromise their values, adding layers to existing trauma or creating new wounds. We are constantly measured against yardsticks that are often unattainable. Family traditions, regional assumptions, and even our own self-limiting beliefs, often absorbed from our environment, can further amplify trauma. A family tradition of not airing dirty laundry can keep abuse hidden for generations. Regional assumptions about stoicism or toughness can discourage emotional expression. Over time, we can internalize these external messages, leading to self-limiting beliefs like, "I don't deserve happiness," or "no one will understand." Recognizing these amplifiers is key to disentangling our personal pain from these larger, often oppressive narratives. The courage to heal. Embracing pathways to wholeness. Healing from trauma is a journey. It requires immense courage. It asks us to face our pain. But it is a journey toward wholeness, and it is possible. The first step is often naming the pain. This means acknowledging what happened. It means recognizing the impact it has had on our lives. We cannot heal what we do not acknowledge. Saying "this happened to me and it hurt me" is a powerful act of self-validation. It breaks the silence that often surrounds trauma. Once we name the pain, we can begin the work of rewiring our beliefs. Trauma often leaves us with negative, distorted beliefs about ourselves and the world. I am unlovable. The world is unsafe. I am to blame. Healing involves challenging these narratives. It means consciously choosing new, more compassionate and empowering beliefs. This can be done through therapy, journaling, and affirmations. It's about retraining our minds to see ourselves and our potential more clearly and kindly. Forgiveness is another important concept on the healing path, but it's often misunderstood. Forgiveness in the context of trauma does not mean condoning the harm. It does not mean forgetting what happened. It does not necessarily mean reconnecting with those who hurt us. Instead, forgiveness can be an internal process. It's about releasing the heavy burden of anger and resentment for our own sake. It's about freeing ourselves from the emotional grip of the past so we can move forward with more peace. Restoring the body is also vital. Trauma is not just stored in our minds, it's stored in our bodies. Practices like somatic experiencing, yoga, mindfulness, and even simple physical exercise can help release trapped tension and trauma. Finding a safe community, people who understand and support us without judgment, is incredibly healing. And of course, therapeutic interventions such as EMDR, CBT, or trauma-informed therapy can provide professional guidance and tools to navigate the complexities of healing. There are many paths, and finding what works for you is key. Building a healing rhythm, daily habits for inner peace. Healing is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process. It is supported by the small, consistent actions we take each day. Daily habits can help us break the cycle of trauma's influence. They create a rhythm of care and self-awareness. Starting the day with a morning ritual can set a positive tone. This could be a few minutes of quiet meditation. It might be writing down 3 things you are grateful for, or simply stretching and breathing deeply. It's about beginning your day with intention and calm. Emotional check-ins throughout the day are also incredibly helpful. Take a moment to pause and ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Name the emotion without judgment. Are you feeling anxious, sad, overwhelmed, or perhaps content? Acknowledging our feelings helps us understand our needs. It prevents emotions from building up and overwhelming us. This practice cultivates emotional intelligence. It allows us to respond to ourselves with greater understanding and care. Self-compassion is a cornerstone of daily healing. Many of us are very hard on ourselves, especially when we've experienced trauma. Practice treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a good friend. When you make a mistake, or when old wounds surface, offer yourself words of comfort, not criticism. Remember that you are doing your best. This consistent practice of self-kindness can slowly rewire the harsh inner critic that trauma often creates. Boundary building is another essential daily habit. Trauma can erode our sense of boundaries. Learning to say no to things that drain us is crucial. Protecting our time and energy is not selfish, it's self-preservation. Incorporating movement into your day, even a short walk, can release tension. A digital detox, even for an hour, can reduce overwhelm. And a nightly reflection, perhaps journaling about your day or noting small achievements, can bring closure and perspective. These small, steady habits build a foundation for lasting peace. Lifelong nourishment, sustaining healing and embracing transformation. The journey of healing from trauma doesn't have a final destination. Instead, it's about lifelong nourishment and continuous growth. Sustaining our healing requires ongoing commitment and intentional practices. Creating a vision board can be a powerful tool. It allows you to visually represent your hopes, dreams, and the healed version of yourself you are striving to embody. Looking at it regularly can reinforce your goals and keep you inspired on your path, reminding you of what you are working towards. Consider annual therapy check-ins, even when you feel you are doing well. Just like a physical checkup, a mental and emotional checkup can help you maintain your progress. It can provide a space to process any new challenges or to reinforce the tools you've learned. Another powerful step is mentoring others who are earlier on their healing journey. Sharing your story, your strength, and your hope can be incredibly healing for both you and the person you are supporting. It gives purpose to your past pain. Decluttering your physical space can have a profound impact on your inner peace. Our external environment often reflects our internal state. Creating a calm, organized, and inspiring living space can support your emotional well-being. Finding a spiritual anchor, whatever that means to you, be it nature, faith, art, or community, can provide a sense of connection to something larger than yourself. This can offer comfort and strength during challenging times. Cultivating positive language, using affirmations, and consciously reframing negative thoughts also reinforces healing daily. Finally, remember to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Acknowledge your courage and resilience. Protect your circle fiercely. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, respect your boundaries, and support your growth. Healing is not linear. There will be ups and downs, but each step, each effort, contributes to your empowerment and transformation. Trauma is painful, yes, but healing is possible. It leads to a life of greater meaning, connection, and profound inner strength. Embrace the journey. If this message resonated with you or could help someone else break free from the cycle of trauma, please don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to support this platform and spread healing to more people around the world. Your engagement could be the spark that ignites someone's journey to freedom.